I want to introduce this new segment, Mommy and Baby Talks, not because I've experienced having a baby, but because I've seen and I've been with mothers who have no idea of what they're experiencing. They totally have no idea of how they're going to raise their kids. So I'd like to use this experience and also the knowledge that I have from my studies to be able to help you, not only the mothers, even the fathers, to be able to raise a healthy and a happy family. So let's get into the video. Welcome back, beautiful people. If you're new here, my name is Lois Odor and I'm a nursing student, and on this channel we talk about nursing. I give health education and I also do vlogs. So if that is something you're interested in, you should consider subscribing. So today, about the topic that I'm introducing, I'd like to talk to you guys about the whole period, like from when, before even you give birth, all the things about the family planning methods and all the things about the pre-pregnancy period. And also when you get pregnant, like what are the things you're going to experience, what are the danger signs, what are the things that should put you into concern, and also after, during labor, and also after giving birth, like what are the signs you'll know you are in labor, what are the things that you'll experience, what are the things that you must know, and even during birth, like what are the things that you must know, because most people come with no idea of even what they're going to carry. So these are the things I'd like to talk to you about, and not forgetting, even after you go with your child home, what are the things that you can experience, like what are the danger signs you might see to know that your child is in problem. Because I've seen babies being brought to the hospital in a very dangerous state because the mother had no idea that what she was seeing was really something to be concerned about. So these are the things I'm going to be talking about during this segment, and I'd like it to be very interactive. Let's ask questions, and I'd also like to meet some of you and we do like a discussion, and let it be interactive. And when you're giving a comment, you're allowed to give comments like when someone asks a question, but make sure you are giving the right thing, because if it's wrong, I'm totally going to remove the comment. And so today I'm going to first start by giving you a brief story of what I've experienced from the maternal and child clinic, and also the maternity, and also during the time I was in the newborn unit. So let's get to the story. So let me first start with the clinics, because this is where it all first begins, because the period when you're pregnant is where you can know if your baby is safe or your baby is not safe, so that something can be done. And you find that most women, they go for the clinics because that is what is recommended, but they're really not sure of what is happening. Like when they're given the booklet, they'll go to the laboratory and the tests will be done, and they'll come, they'll lie down, they'll allow you to do all kind of tests, but in real sense, they really don't know what's happening. So like you find that most people, they do these things for you, but like because you are many, they won't have the time to explain, especially in public hospitals. That's why you see like some women, they'll come for the first week, the first time of the clinic, and then they won't come again, because they'll go at home and be like, I didn't see anything being done there. They only did some piercings and touch my belly, and I don't see even the importance. So that's why I really like to do the explanation of this period when you're pregnant, because I've had so many stories of mothers who totally don't know what they are doing, because they believe that giving birth at home is safe. They've seen their grandmother giving birth at home and their mothers giving birth at home, and it was all okay. And they're asking like, why should I even be giving birth at the hospital? So I'd like to explain so many of these things, because there's things that people have come to understand right now. Let me give you an example of rhesus incompatibility. And this is where, like, let's say the mother is O negative and the father is O positive, and now because of the positive negative rhesus factor, it will be able to affect the baby if the baby is O positive. So such kind of things most people don't understand. And with this example, you'll find there's a mother who gave me a story, her own story, that she used to live in the village, and she totally had no idea about rhesus incompatibility. And so after she gave birth to her firstborn, the other remaining children used to die even after 2 weeks. And what they used to think is that they're cursed. And so what they used to do with her husband is just to move from one county to another, one village to another, so that they can try and live with people who don't want to curse them, who don't want to destroy their children. But what she did not understand is that there was a problem. There was a problem with her rhesus factor. And so you can't blame her, because for her, she knew that if her mother could give birth, if her grandmother could give birth at home, then that means that there's no problem with her. The problem is with the community. And so I'd like to explain such kind of things to you guys. And I know like nowadays people are really like, these things are really taught in the internet, even when you go for your clinics. But the problem is like for us, the mothers, when we are taught these things in the clinics, we like don't know how to explain it to, let's say, our friends or to other women outside here. So I'd like to explain these things not in the deep medical terms, but in a simple way, so that you can go back to your home and explain these things to other women, so that they may stop believing things negatively. Like for that woman, after she came, I think a certain woman came and explained to her like this solution can be found in the hospital. And when she went to the hospital, they found that she's O negative, and that's how she was told like what she's supposed to do. And I remember that day when she came, she was ready, and she told me, I know there's a certain injection that I'm supposed to be given to be able to help my baby. So those are the kind of things that I'd like to be bringing in this section. Number 2 is in the maternity, and the maternity is like where all the craziness goes down, because now it's like you're free to express yourself, and like it is like a marketplace and everyone is shouting. I think every time I used to go back home, I always had a headache. The nurse is shouting, the doctor is shouting, the mothers are shouting, some of them are screaming, the babies are crying, and it's just crazy. Like if you spend a whole day, you might even go crazy yourself. So when it comes to the period when you labor and you want to give birth, like it requires a lot of preparedness, because let's say your labor has come early and you're not at home, so you don't have like your bag with you, and so you'll have to call, maybe let's say your husband is at home so that they can bring your stuff, and let's say maybe you didn't even finish packing, and so they don't know what they're supposed to be carrying, because like mostly in public hospitals we are used to like the woman comes to the clinic alone, and that is something we are used to. And I don't know if maybe the men are embarrassed or something, but that is just it. Even if they have to bring you like to the hospital, watafika hapo kwa gate, they drop you, they go back. When you finish what you're doing, you'll call them so that they can come and pick you. And so we'll end up finding like most of the men, they really don't know what's going on. They're just like there to support you emotionally, but all the other things you're like doing it yourself. And so let's say that situation, you've gone to the hospital and you've called him to bring your stuff, and they totally don't know what you're doing, what to do. And you'll find that like in public hospitals there are so many things to carry, because in public hospital you even carry your slippers, your cap, your basin. And so like I remember there's a guy who only brought a shawl, the baby shawl, because that is the only thing he thought that should be carried to that place. And so we had to like send him everywhere, go and bring, I don't know, pampers, go and bring basin, go and bring, I don't know, caps, and everybody shouting at him, and like it's crazy, all because people did not prepare. So I really like to talk on this matter of preparedness, like what are you supposed to be carrying, and also what you're going to experience, because I've seen like, I think most women are like shy, because you'll find that we have male doctors and male nurses. So I've seen mothers who are really scared, because whenever like they see the doctor wants to do an examination on them, they refuse. And maybe the male nurses or the male doctor is the one that is available on duty on that day. So you are putting your baby at risk. The moment you are refusing for them to examine you, you're putting your baby at risk. And even when you're giving birth, you find that women, they're scared. They're scared because they're scared of the pain. They're scared maybe of the person who is attending to them. And so when you're not mentally prepared, even the process is supposed to be like pushing the baby, it's going to be really difficult. And so you'll find that the mother is on the process of giving birth. She's kicking you, she's like calling you names, and she's crying, and so it really takes long. So I'd really like to prepare you guys during that period, so that we may go to the hospital feeling confident, because you know people usually like like the mothers when you are confident, when you're like, you are sure of what you're doing, you're happy of what you're doing, you are ready to do what you're doing. And it is really nice to be working with that kind of a person. And when someone is there, they're disturbing you, they don't want you to touch them, and you want to attend to them, then it really becomes so difficult. So I'd like to prepare you guys so that when you go to the hospital, you have mothers who are happy, mothers who are ready, and mothers who are confident. Number 3 is the time I was in the newborn unit, and this is like one of the most emotional places, because like seeing a baby pass away is something that is really sad. And some of these things, some of these conditions, we can really avoid it, but only if we know what is happening. You find some of the mothers, they didn't really know their baby had a problem. Let's say something like dehydration. For them, the only thing that the baby was breastfeeding well, because they were placing their baby on the breast. But I want to teach you, like, how should you do it? How should you know, like, if your baby is breastfeeding well? Because you find that some of these signs, the mother cannot even avoid it, because they look at the skin and think that maybe the skin is just dry, let me apply some oil, but they really don't know how to check for the signs of the baby being dehydrated. So I really like to teach on that. And also something like jaundice, because I've seen so many women who come to the hospital with their baby having jaundice, and for them, they used to think that their baby is becoming lighter. Like they're saying, mi nilikuwa nadhani nataka kuwa brown kama sijui shosho yake ama nani. And it's because they don't know. They don't know that the baby turning yellow in the eyes or in the palms is something that is a danger sign. So I'd really like to teach you on the danger signs that you'll see on your baby and know that your baby has a problem. And not only for you to know the danger signs, but to be able to know what you can do before you reach the hospital. Because some of these children, they usually die on their way to the hospital, but remember, there was something that could have been done. There's something that could have been done, and this baby could have survived. So let's say something like fever. The mother will come with the baby saying the baby has fever. And if you see the baby, amevalishwa mshori, there's a sweater, there's another sweater, then there's a jacket, they have a scarf, and amemfunika na shawl. And it's 6 mchana. And you're like, wow. If only like she knew of ways in which you can prevent, you can like reduce the body temperature even before you come to the hospital. Some of the things will be reduced, because the baby she's coming with the baby like that, and maybe she's not even breathing properly. So like I'd like to teach you on some of the things you can do, like using that example, like you remove all the extra clothing, you can sponge the baby, breastfeed, and do some other things. Even if you have a thermometer, you can be taking the temperature, and you see such kind of things. So like I know like so many things can be really avoided during that 1 hour that you're taking to go to the hospital. There's some things that you can do that can really save your baby. So guys, as I said before, let's try and make this interactive. Let's learn from each other, ask questions, bring new ideas of the things you'd like me to talk about. Let's learn from each other. Let's give our own experiences and tell a friend to tell a friend. And make sure you share this video, because nowadays people are like so obsessed with social media, and let's use this platform so that you can reach especially the young mothers and new mothers. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to share this video. And see you on my next video. Bye bye.